Ghost bite or cemetery file? Cemetery file or ghost bite? I went back and forth on this one, my little strangelings, because this one has one foot in either realm. The churchyard at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Cleveland, Tennessee, just a scant few miles north of Chattanooga, Tennessee, has a remarkable mausoleum at its back. There is also just one person interred here, that I know of, a little girl by the name of Nina Craig Miles. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. Let me go back, all the way back, to Nina's very short-lived life. She was born to Sea Captain John Craig Miles and his wife Adelia Craig Miles on August 5, 1864, in what was then the small town of Cleveland, Tennessee. She was the apple of her daddy's eye, and likewise the apple of her maternal grandfather's eye, who spent a good deal of time with Nina while her father was away. It was a fall afternoon, and little Nina Craig Miles was with her papa, or maternal grandfather, Dr. Gideon Thompson. It was a common sight to see little Nina with her papa as he made his rounds in his horse-drawn buggy to see his patients and make his house calls. Oftentimes, little Nina would urge her papa Gideon to make the horses go faster between houses and calls, something her grandfather often indulged her in, even allowing the young girl to take the reins every now and again. It was the 1800s of it all, I remind you. This day was set apart from most of their jaunts in that the weather was quite tempestuous, and Dr. Thompson thought better of taking his then 7-year-old granddaughter out into the storm. He must go. There were patients to be seen to, but he did try to leave Nina behind, at first. Little Nina begged and pleaded with her papa to please, please, please let her go with him, and against his better judgment, Dr. Thompson relented. It would be the worst mistake of his life. No one knows what spooked the horses, an errant clap of thunder, the train's horn in the driving rain. That part is unclear. What is clear is that Dr. Gideon's team of horses affixed to his buggy did spook and lunged at the most inopportune time, directly into the path of an oncoming train at one of the town's railroad crossings. Gideon Thompson was toppled from the buggy and thrown clear, but both horses and little Nina didn't fare half so well. They were struck by the train and killed, and Dr. Thompson, though he survived, was badly injured. Nina's parents were inconsolable, neither one more than her father, who immediately commissioned a church to be built within town. Not her grave, but the whole-ass church, my little strangelings. Thus, St. Luke's Episcopal Church was built in memory of little Nina Craig Miles, and behind that church an elaborate mausoleum of Carrara Italian marble was constructed, specifically to house little Nina's broken body, and little Nina alone. It wasn't long after the completion of the mausoleum and Nina's interment within it that something very strange took place. The mausoleum itself was built after the church, but it was only after little Nina was interred that strange phenomena took place. The mausoleum, above the door on the right-hand side, appeared to start bleeding. A red stain appeared on the archway, one that couldn't be explained. Carrara marble is known for being as pure white as you can find, with pale bluish to grayish veining. At no point has red ever been a color within this marble type. Of course, Nina's father was incensed by the red stains, and when nothing at all could be done to scrub it off, he had that section of the mausoleum rebuilt. And yet, the red stains returned. Not once, not twice, but after 3 separate attempts at rebuilding. After the 3rd try, Craig Miles gave up. It was assumed that the red staining had come from iron deposits within the stone, and at one point that theory was put to scientific test. A sample of the marble carefully chipped and scraped from the spot and sent to a laboratory for testing. There were no traces of iron found within the samples taken. To this day, the bloody red staining on little Nina Craig Miles' vault remains unexplained, but for one explanation, and one of paranormal origin. Could this be a haunting? A physical manifestation of poor little Nina's horrible, violent, bloody, and tragic death? There's no way to really know, my little strangelings. What do you think? For a more in-depth look to the story of the Craig Mile Vault, please consider pre-ordering our upcoming book, Paranormal by Region, East Tennessee Edition, out October 31st, 2024, just in time for AJ's appearance at the East Tennessee Occult Expo to be held at Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where she'll have physical copies available. As always, until next time, happy hauntings.